So today we are going to cut a t-shirt, the size large. I'm going to put the t-shirt size chart up for you guys so you can see. So for the first step, I'm cutting both front and back pieces together. To make this easy, I've already cut out my fabric with the length I want and the wideness that I want. So the first thing we're going to do is to take our shoulder measurement. So for our shoulder measurement, we're going to use 18. It's supposed to be 20 for a large, but since it's a smaller person I'm sewing it for, I'm using 18. So 18 divided by 2 is 9 plus ½ inch. That's 9.5. So we're going to come down by 1.5 inch to slant our shoulder. Then from this shoulder slant, we're going to come down by the same 9.5 inches for the chest. Then the full length of the shirt, which I've already taken, is 27 plus 1 inch for folding. You can leave 1.5 inch if that's what you want. I'm using 1 inch for mine, which is 28. So then to connect the shoulder slant down to the chest line. Then on the chest line, you're going to take your chest or bust measurement, which is in this case 40 divided by 2, that's 10, plus ½ inch for joining allowance, which is 10.5. Then you're going to take your curve ruler and just curve that to meet your shoulder slant line. So after curving that out, we're going to come out a little bit for the back, because remember we're cutting both front and back together. So I'm going to come out by like ½ inch for the back and curve that in. Like that. So for the bust, we've already taken our measurements, 10.5. Same 10.5, you're going to take it down on the hem, 10.5. So you have your outline already. Then we're going to come over to the neckline. For the wideness of the neckline, I'm going to go in by 2.5 inches or 3 inches, depending on how wide you want it to be. So I'm going in by 2.5 inches for this. And I'm going to come down by 4 inches. So you're going to just use your curve rule to curve that out. Then for the back, I'm going to come down by 1 inch or 1.5 inch rather. 1.5 inch for the back. And curve that out too. So that's basically it. Now we're going to proceed to cut out the back lines first before we cut out the front lines. Then on its own, I'm going to cut out the front piece separately. And trim out the armhole. So we have our front piece and our back piece. You notch your center points for the neckline. Then To get your armhole for the sleeve, you're going to measure the armhole of this round, which is 11.5. So we are going to use 11 because when you minus ½ inch for joining of the shoulder, it's going to be 11. We put this and set it aside. So the next thing we're cutting is the sleeve, and we already took our round armhole measurement, which was 11. So we're going to come down by 3 inches for our cap height. That's the standard I use. 3 inches. For a bigger person, you can use 4. The standard I use is 3, from 3 to 4. So you can also use 3.5. Mark out your cap height. For the length of the sleeve, we're using 9. So 9 plus 1.5 inch is 10.5. Because ½ inch is going to go for joining, 1 inch is going to go for folding. So that's 10.5. Then we're going to take our round armhole measurement that we measured, which was 11, on a slanted form like this. So that's exactly 11. And we're going to connect that line. On this line here, we're going to look for the midpoint, which is 5.5. And you will go up by ½ inch. And then connect your lines. Connect this to the top and this to the bottom. So it gives you like an S shape. Like so. So for the round sleeve, we're using 14 divided by 2 is 7. So you take 7 and add half for joining allowance, which is 7.5. Mark that out and connect. So we have our sleeve drawn out and we're just going to cut it out. And notch your middle points. So we have both sleeves. So we're going to start first by joining the shoulders. So we're going to join ½ inch. So after joining the shoulders, next thing we're going to do is to join the sleeve. You're going to open your shirt up like so and place the sleeve front side facing front side. Notch the middle point first so you can cover your midpoint. Pin it down. So we're going to sew the sleeve on from the midpoint down, then from the midpoint down again. So I'm done joining the armhole and I went ahead to weave that down. Same thing for the other side. So the next thing we're going to do is to join the sides. And before we do that, you're going to pin both armholes together to be sure that everything is in alignment. So we're going to join this using ½ inch shaping allowance all the way down, and then we'll do the same thing for the other side. So we're done joining the sides and we've weaved both sides. So the next thing we're going to do is to attach the neckband. So this is the rib I'm using, and they're going to take measurement of the neck first. The neck is 9 inches folded. That's 18 inches if it's opened. 9 times 2 is 18. So we're going to cut the neck. The length is going to be 3 inches shorter than 18 inches because we need it to pull the neck together. So we're going to use 15 inches and then 1 inch for the band wideness. So I'm going to measure out because we need ½ inch for joining. Let me just use 15.5. Then for the wideness, I'm going to use 1 inch. So I'm going to cut this out, but I'll add a little extra allowance here. Not to ½ inch, just a little for joining allowance. I'm going to fold this like this and weave it together. So once we have this weave, you're going to look for the midpoint and notch that. Look for the other midpoint. The 4 corners, you have to notch the 4 corners. Then put this back on a fold. Semi pins, like 4. So you get your polo, a bit t-shirt. Let's turn this over to the front. And you're going to put this on a fold, like this. And we're going to match this folded part to, we're going to match it to the shoulder. And then we're going to match the other notch to the other side of the shoulder. The reason I'm matching this is so the elastic will be evenly spread out. Then also match the midpoint to the center front and the midpoint to the center back. So when you stretch this out, this is what it looks like stretched out. So we're going to weave or sew this down round, making sure as you're sewing, you're stretching this out to match the elastic with the fabric. So this is how it looks after I joined the neckline. So I'm just going to iron this down and then top stitch on it. So this is what the neck looks like after I ironed it down. So next thing I'm going to do is to top stitch round the neck. Top stitch on it very close to the edge. This is how the neck looks. You can still run a second stitch up here just to make it look more professional. It's your choice. If you want to, if you don't want to, you can leave it, but I am going to do that. So this is how it looks after I top stitched on it. How the neckline looks. Then next thing we're going to do is to weave and fold the hem and the sleeve. So for the hem, I'm going to fold 1 inch down. I went ahead to weave it already, so I'm going to fold 1 inch down. Then after running the first line, I'm going to run the second line on this. We're done joining the hem, folded it 1 inch and then double stitched on that. And
so I got this already made stickers that you can just iron with your iron at home. It's quite easy to use and cheap.
Next thing we're going to do is,
but you can also customize your own stickers and print on your polos to get a more personalized
give it the final look.
Get it to look more professional. But this can work too, and I'm going to drop my customization class here too, so you guys can learn how to customize your own stickers by yourself.